The human limped forward, blood dripping down his arm. His shirt torn, soaked from rain and dirt. He stood tall, but barely. His chest rose and fell with each breath, sharp and ragged. Across from him, the alien warriors watched, unmoving, blue faces cold and unreadable. They wore dark armor, smooth and silent. Each one holding weapons built to kill. The human? Just a broken spear in his hand. He stopped about 10 feet away from the stairs. And at the top of those stairs stood her. She was something out of another world. Because she was tall, slender, glowing eyes lined with silver. Long white hair sticking wet to her blue skin in the rain. Her tight black armor curved along her body like skin. And those lips. They curled into something between a smirk and a warning. She walked down slowly, hips swaying just enough to show she knew every eye was on her. Especially his. She said softly, circling around him. You don't look like a hero. There was a long pause. But you smell like trouble. The human didn't flinch. He just clenched the broken spear. His temple bled. His jaw bruised. But his eyes were locked on hers. I carried one of your people out of that crater, he said. She was hurt, bleeding worse than me. I didn't leave her behind. The warriors behind her didn't move, still as statues. But she laughed. Soft. Deep. Almost purring. Oh, how noble. She leaned in close now, pressing just slightly forward until her lips nearly brushed his ear. And how stupid. Bringing blood into the royal grounds without permission. He turned his head slowly, unfazed. She would have died. His voice cracked, just a little. A hand grabbed his shoulder from behind, one of the guards. But she held up a finger. Just one. The guard froze. She stepped back, examining him again. Eyes flicking from the cuts on his chest. To the mud on his legs. To the bruises blooming across his body. And you expect me to believe you did this just to be kind? Her head tilted. A dangerous smile playing at her lips. I'm not asking you to believe anything, he said. I'm just giving her back alive. Another voice cut in, strong and deep. The chief. He walked out through tall golden doors behind the throne. Covered in dark steel, silver accents, long white hair tied back. He did not smile. He never smiled. You broke our perimeter. He walked slowly toward the boy. You spilled blood on sacred stone. His face darkened. You should be dead. The human didn't move. Didn't speak. The chief stopped inches away. Towering. Silent. Burning. Then looked over to the alien princess. She speaks for him. She licked her lower lip, letting the silence grow. Then shrugged. Maybe, she said. Depends how interesting he gets. That earned a few chuckles from the soldiers. But her eyes didn't smile. She stepped forward again. Hands behind her back, lips teasing a whisper. You're either the dumbest human I've met. Or the bravest. She leaned low, catching his eyes below the wet white strands dangling near his face. Tell me, Earth boy. When you saw me standing up here, in charge, did you feel scared, or turned on? He blinked. And she laughed. But before he could answer, a loud metallic clang exploded across the courtyard. An explosion of blue light smashed across the far wall. An alien guard shouted as someone else was dragged in. A second human. But this one was unconscious. Bleeding more than the first. The chief's eyes narrowed. The princess's smirk disappeared. The first human turned slightly. His eyes, confused, but alert. The chief growled low. We were only told there was one. The alien princess drew closer, real now. No more teasing. She wasn't playing anymore. She looked over at the first human. I serious. Voice cold. What have you done? Black screen. Tension high. Mystery locked. Black question mark ornament comment question. What do you think? Is the princess falling for the human or planning to kill him in bed later? Smiling face with horns. The chamber doors slammed shut behind him. Everything was too quiet in here. The floor was black stone, smooth like glass, and cold. Strange blue lights pulsed along the walls. Alive, humming slowly, like the breath of something watching. He stood in the center of the room now, stripped of his weapons. Dried blood still painted his left arm. The taste of fire and fear hadn't left his mouth. Then came the sound of footsteps. Heels, slow, deliberate, confident. She was back. The alien princess. She moved like gravity bent around her. Silver eyes, long white hair. Her armor tighter than before. A different outfit now. Black and purple, carved across her curves like artwork. She wasn't here to fight. She was here to play. You clean up nice, for something that crawled out of a crater. Her voice echoed through the chamber like silk mixed with smoke. He didn't answer. She circled him again. Slow, like a hungry predator. Her long nails traced the air near his shoulders. Not quite touching, but close enough to burn. You didn't tell me your name, she said, tilting her head. Kind of rude, don't you think? He glanced sideways. You didn't ask. That made her smile. A real one. Not just teasing. She purred. Smart mouth, bruised face, very my type. She stepped in closer, body near his. His breath hitched as her fingers finally met his skin. Not rough. Curious. Light. She touched the dried blood on his arm. Slowly wiped it with her thumb. Then brought that thumb to her lips, and tasted it. Her eyes narrowed. There it is. There what is? He asked, voice rough. She only smiled. You're carrying something special inside you now? Human. He frowned. Just blood and broken bones. Not anymore, she whispered. She leaned in so close their noses nearly brushed. Every alien guard watching from behind the walls shifted uncomfortably. Her voice dropped low. You touched one of ours. Pulled her from battle. Her blood mixed with yours. Do you know what that can do to your kind? He didn't answer. She ran one finger across his collarbone. You really have no clue, do you? Silence. Then her lips brushed near his jaw. Not a kiss, too much heat for just a kiss. But maybe. I could show you. He stepped back. 1 foot. Just one. The room shifted instantly. Doors hissed, walls moved. Lights dimmed as the floor opened into a circle. A second voice called out. Deeper. Rougher. Enough, daughter. The chief stepped out from the deep shadows. Full armor. Cold eyes. The princess didn't flinch. He's mine now, she said, not even looking at her father. I want to test him. The chief growled. He is still human. She smirked, finally turning toward the throne. Well, then he'll break quickly, won't he? She looked back at the human, eye sparkling. Unless he surprises me again. The chief said nothing. She snapped her fingers. 2 alien guards entered, dropped a weapons case at the human's feet. Inside, blade, shield, odd armor. Put it on, she told him. Prove to us you're not just lucky. He glared at her. And if I refuse? She walked up to him again. Closer than before. If you refuse, I'll let you go. Pause. He raised an eyebrow. She leaned in again. Closer. Hot breath across his skin. But you'll never get to touch me again. Silence. She stepped back before he could speak. And I know you were thinking about that, Earth boy. He bent down, grabbed the weapon, and slid the knife across his hip. Let's see if aliens bleed, he muttered. That made her laugh out loud. Deep. Pleased. Oh, you're going to be fun. Suddenly, the floor shook. A violent explosion echoed in the far hallway. Screams. Alarms. Then silence. A guard ran in, whispering frantically in the chief's ear. He turned, face deadly serious. There's been a breach. The princess's smile vanished. Where? Where we keep the other one. The human froze. What other one? She didn't answer. Just looked at him now. Eyes narrowed. Like she remembered something he didn't know. Something dangerous. And maybe now, he wasn't the only human here. Black question mark ornament comment question. Do you think she really wants to test him in battle? Or in bed first? Smirking face fire. She wasn't smiling anymore. Not this time. The alien princess watched the human closely now. Like a puzzle she couldn't quite figure out. He stood in front of the throne hall's glowing entry. Still holding that alien blade she let him taste. But now, something had changed. The guards were acting nervous. Figures moved fast across the upper balconies. Warnings whispered behind glowing masks. And the chief? He wasn't looking at the human anymore. He was looking past him. At the sealed corridor far across the stone bridge. Heavy footsteps broke the moment. An armored commander entered briskly. He was shaking. There's another human, he said. Locked room 9A, breached. The chief's jaw tensed. That room was sealed, he grunted. No one goes in or out without my handprint. The soldier swallowed hard. Someone copied your security code, exactly. The princess blinked slowly. Then turned to the human. He raised both hands slightly. No. That wasn't me. She smiled again, but colder now. Oh, don't worry. We know it wasn't you. She stepped forward, circling him once more. I would have smelled the guilt on your skin. His breath caught. Her voice dropped to a whisper near his neck. But maybe you're not the only human playing games here. He turned sharply. What do you mean? Who else is here? The chief raised one hand. The sound around them vanished. Guards backed away. Walls sealed behind them. Now it was just the three of them. The chief. The princess. And the bleeding, confused human. The chief spoke in a low, firm voice. You were brought here by accident. The girl you saved, she triggered a biosensor. It led us to you. He stepped closer, gaze sharp. But now, there's another signal. Another human. Stronger. Not wounded. He snuck past our detection fields. The human frowned. You think he followed me? Then his voice lowered. Or we were being followed this whole time. The princess tapped a finger on her lips. A slow hum vibrated in her throat. Then she said something under her breath in her strange language. The entire floor shifted. A hidden staircase spiraled open behind the throne. Downward. Deep. Into blackness. She looked at the human over her shoulder. You want answers, don't you? She smirked. I always say. If you want to find the danger, follow the heat. He didn't move. Just stared. Her words carried too much meaning. Why are you helping me? He asked. Everyone else wants me dead. She turned to face him directly. No teasing now. Just truth. We don't get your kind here often. Her eyes slid down his chest. But when we do, we make use of them. Another silence. Just the sound of low pulsing walls and distant alarm echoes. Then her smile returned. feral, flirty. And besides, I'm curious what you do when your adrenaline kicks in. She turned, descended the stairs into the darkness. No more words. The human stayed still for 1 second too long. The chief growled. You'd better follow her before she changes her mind. He didn't need a second warning. He moved. Step by step he followed the soft glow of her hips in the dark. Quiet footing, slow breathing. His hand gripping the alien weapon he barely knew how to use. Then the silence broke. A hiss, a whimper, another human voice. Soft. Weak. A whisper in the dark. Get out, she's not what she seems. He froze. Looked left. Nothing. Looked right. His blood ran cold. There was a figure, half hidden behind a glowing screen. Human, male, restrained. Beaten. Injured. But his mouth was barely moving. She's lying. Using you? You're not the first. The princess stood still ahead. Watching. Silent. Smiling. Listening. And then? She winked. Darkness swallowed them all. Black question mark ornament comment question. Be honest, is our human actually falling for her charm? Or is he already too deep in her trap? Smiling face with horns, blue heart. The room smelled like metal. And something sweeter underneath. He opened his eyes. Dim blue lights floated above him like fireflies. The ceiling curved like the inside of a ship. But somehow older. He was lying on something soft. Not a hospital bed. Not chains either. Something softer than he'd admit in front of soldiers. And she was there. Of course. Sitting at the edge of the long seat. Legs crossed. Armor replaced with a long deep purple gown that left way too much shoulder exposed. Her silver eyes practically glowed in the dark. You bled on my floor. Her voice was low, teasing. Again. He groaned, sitting up slow. How long was I out? Not long. We like to observe our guests before they wake. He rubbed his face. Bruises gone. Mostly. She leaned forward, elbows on her knees. Her top dipped low when she did. He noticed. So did she. I gave your blood to our healers, she said casually. They ran a few scans. Nothing dangerous, except what you've become. His hands paused. What do you mean? She stood. Walked slowly to the side table. Silver liquids floated inside small glass tubes. One shimmered red. She held it up. Your blood mixed with hers. The injured one you carried. She's not ordinary. None of us are. But her line? They're bred for war. And healing. She walked toward him again, barefoot now. Quiet. Too quiet. You carry strands of her now inside you. Not just DNA, something more. Something we don't understand yet. He frowned. That's supposed to scare me. She smiled. No, it's supposed to attract me. She stopped inches from him. Because now, you don't just belong to Earth anymore. She reached out. Touched his wrist. Let her fingers slide over the veins showing just under the skin. His pulse quickened. Hers didn't. You feel it, don't you? She whispered. The heat. The force moving under your ribs. He nodded slowly. Yeah. Been feeling it since I got near you. That made her grin. Careful, soldier. It's the blood making you bold, not skill. He leaned in just slightly. You sure it's not you? She moved fast, palming his chest in one push. Not hard. Not violent. But possessive. You have no idea how dangerous I am, she said. Her eyes flared, just for a second. A flash of blue fire. He didn't step back. I'm starting to figure it out. She tilted her head. The silence stretched. Then she whispered, "Want to test how fast your devolved reflexes are?" Her hand slid down his chest. Then moved just away. "So far, you've survived beasts, soldiers, and my father. Let's see if you can survive me." Then, alarm lights flashed. Screams echoed. Blades clashed beyond the chamber. She cursed. "No, not now." "What's happening?" he asked, jumping to his feet. Already reaching for the blade she'd left by the bed. She didn't answer. The door exploded open. A guard stumbled in, face slashed. "Your room." "Princess, someone broke in." Then he fell. Blood spreading. She snarled. Her face no longer curious or flirty. Now it was locked. Hunt mode. "Stay behind me," she hissed. "You're not ready yet." He ignored her. Stepped beside her instead. "I'm tired of being protected." He gripped the blade tightly. "And I don't stay behind anyone." Lightning flashed through the hall outside. Everything pulsing blue and red. Then a voice echoed from the smoke. Another human voice. "You shouldn't have touched her." They both froze. Even the princess looked stunned. "You know him?" she asked, stiff. "No," the human replied quickly. "Do you?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "I thought I buried that one." Cut to black. Black question mark ornament comment question. "So let's guess. Is our sexy alien princess using him as her next lover, her weapon, or maybe both?" Smirking face blue heart. There was blood on the blade again. But this time, it wasn't his. Smoke drifted through the broken hallway. Somewhere behind him, the alien guards lay scattered. Not dead, just unconscious. Mostly. And her? She was smiling again. As if none of it made her nervous. As if seeing him fight like that turned her on. Honestly, maybe it did. She leaned against a cracked doorway, arms crossed. Her long white hair wild and messy from the chaos. One purple strap of her battle gown slipping down her shoulder. "You move differently now," she said. Her words soft, but sharp underneath. "That blood in you is waking up." The human wiped sweat from his brow. Bare-chested. Bruised. His blade still glowing blue from the last hit. He turned to her. "What was that thing?" She tilted her head. "That? Just a test. One of our security drones, with teeth." Then she smirked. "I wanted to see if you'd scream when it bit." He chuckled dryly. "Well, I did scream. I just didn't run." She laughed. Finally. Deep and sultry. Genuine. "You're stupidly brave, Earth boy," she said, walking toward him. "And that's either gonna save your people, or get you killed by the end of the day." He didn't flinch. Didn't move. "I'm done running," he said. "If there's another threat, tell me where it is, or get out of my." She grabbed his shirt collar. Hard. Fast. Unexpected. Pulled him face to face. Barely a breath apart. "You don't give me orders," she whispered. "I'm not one of your soft little human girls." He didn't blink. "And you think I'm one of your soft little pets?" Something changed in her eyes. A flicker. Interest. Maybe something hotter. She released him. Slowly. Hands lingering. Then she turned her back and walked down the corridor. Hips swaying more than necessary. "I know a place where we can find your answers," she said. "But there's a price." "Figures." She stopped. Looked back over her shoulder. "You'll have to fight my father." He stared. "The chief?" She nodded. "But not to hurt him." She stepped closer again. This is how we choose who belongs here. You either shed blood, or you spill your pride. There's no in between. He stepped in now, toe to toe. I've already bled. And I got no pride left to lose. She raised an eyebrow. Amused. Oh. She leaned in once more, flirty smile back in place. Not even a little pride hidden in those muscles. She trailed a finger down the center of his chest, slow and intentional. He caught her hand. Gently. You gonna flirt with me before every death match? She giggled. Someone has to make dying look sexy. Later, in the training pit. The ground was black crystal. The air hot with challenge. Dozens of alien warriors formed a ring around the edge. Some cheering, some watching in complete silence. They'd heard stories now. About the Earth boy who bled like a beast, but fought like one of their own. Then the chief stepped into the ring. Armored. Silent. But he didn't draw a weapon. He just stared. You will not win, he said. You cannot. That's fine, the human grunted, gripping his strange new blade. I'm not here to win. Just to survive. The chief attacked. Fast, much faster than before. A blur of speed and weight. Blades clashed. Sparks flew. The human ducked one strike. Blocked another. Took a punch to the ribs and still stood. Then, in a flash of instinct, something triggered inside him. The energy in his new blood surged. And his hand moved on its own. A parry he didn't learn. A roll he didn't train for. A strike too sharp for a normal man. The blade kissed the chief's throat. Silence. The crowd inhaled, held it. The chief didn't move. He frowned. Where did you learn that? The human lowered the blade. Breath shaky. I didn't. He looked up at the chief. It's hers, isn't it? That girl I saved. Her blood. Her reflex. The chief blinked once. Then said something between anger and respect. You are becoming something else. The princess stepped down into the ring slowly. Eyes locked on the human. She said only one thing. Now I know what I want to try first. He turned to her carefully. Try what, exactly? She grinned. Victory, or you? His heart skipped. Then a voice echoed from the crowd. You can't have him. Everyone turned. Even the chief froze. New figure. Walking slowly out of the shadow gate. Black cloak. Human face. Smiling like a devil. Another human. But this one? He wasn't bleeding. Black question mark ornament comment question. All right, boys, be honest, if you were in his place. Would you fight the chief like a warrior? Or let the princess test you her way first? Smirking face fire blue heart. His blade was still warm in his hand. But the room suddenly colder. The second human stood there. Cloak half-torn. Boots caked with black mud from somewhere deep beneath the palace grounds. His eyes were too calm. No blood. No bruises. Just that annoying little smile. Like he knew everyone in the room was already 3 steps behind. The alien princess stepped forward, beside our wounded human. But close, too close. Like she wanted this new stranger to see whose side she was on. Identify yourself, she demanded, voice sharp. Though her fingers brushed against her human's arm as she spoke. A message of attention. The new figure pulled down his hood. You don't remember me, he asked her. Come on, you used to call me your little Earth project. She blinked. Then narrowed her eyes. Talon? The name hit the room like an echo. Our human tilted his head, tension building in his jaw. You know him? He asked, low. The princess exhaled, sharp. I left him in the trenches 3 cycles ago. I thought he was torn apart. Talon stepped forward. You left me, darling. There's a difference. He smirked at the human. You must be the new one. She didn't upgrade, the human replied without missing a beat. Talon chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. I like him, he said to the princess. Too bad they never last. The princess didn't answer. But now she looked uncomfortable, just for a breath. And that was new. Without warning, she turned on her heel. Both of you. To my chamber. Now. The guard stepped aside. No one argued. Not when her eyes looked like storms about to break. The princess's chambers were glowing low red. Walls pulsing slow, like something alive, breathing with her. She poured something thick and golden from a long bottle. Handed a small glass to each man. Drink only if you trust me. Then downed hers with one sharp movement. The human didn't hesitate. Knocked back the shot like fire. Talon sniffed his. Then smiled. Still using the rose venom blend. Brings back memories. He drank. All 3 stared across the small table. Too close. Too still. The silence had heat in it. And not just from the drink. Then the princess spoke. You want the truth? Fine. She stood now. Let the outer wrap of her battle dress slide from one shoulder again. I invited one of you here. And the other forced his way back into my palace. She walked slow, not toward Talon. But toward the newer human. The one still bleeding inside, just less than before. You bled for us. Saved one of my own. And every choice you've made since then has been honest. She leaned in, fingers on his chest again. You've earned more than just survival. Then she turned suddenly, moving to Talon. You? You were a test. One that passed until you broke yourself trying to control us. Talon stood. We could have ruled together. You tried to sell royal combat secrets to mercenaries. Her voice like thunder now. The air pulsed. The wall behind her blinked red. Security was now watching them. All of them. She looked between the 2 men. Then walked to the center of the room. You both want something from me. My help. My secrets. Maybe my bed. She let that land. But blood comes first. She turned her hand. Pressed it into the glowing seal in the wall. A long-hidden door slid open. Stars poured in from the night sky beyond, strange lights blinking below. This is the Fall Tower, she said. Only those I trust go up. And only those I want come back down. She looked at her human now. You want to know what's changing inside you? Why your blood burns like that at night? She reached forward. Pulled him slightly closer. You want to know what I'm turning you into? She placed her lips against his ear. Then come upstairs with me. Alone. She glanced at Talon without turning. He's not invited. The human stared into her eyes. They'll say I'm weak for going with you. She smirked. They already do. So the only question left is, do you want to know the truth, or do you want to feel it first? Black question mark ornament comment question. All right, boys, if you were standing there and she said that to you, would you ask for the truth, or let her show you what she meant? Smiling face with horns kiss mark. The wind hit his face the moment he stepped onto the open balcony. Not just any balcony. The Fall Tower. They said the stars were closer up here. But nothing felt closer than her. She walked ahead of him, barefoot, body lit by the glow of alien moons. Her gown flowed along her hips like it didn't want to let go. He followed. Not because he was weak, but because something inside him burned for answers. And maybe, for her too. You know why I brought you here? She asked, turning slowly. The wind moved her hair across her blue cheekbones like a veil from another world. I'm starting to guess. His voice was rough, scar tissue and adrenaline. She stepped close again. Almost too close. You feel it, don't you? The pull. The heat under your ribs. She touched his chest, right where the new veins had started pulsing days ago. You're not just human anymore. Her lips curved slightly. You're mine. He swallowed hard. That's supposed to be romantic or threatening. Her eyes glowed brighter. Depends how long you last. Then everything shifted. The platform beneath them began to rise. They were going higher. Not into the sky, but into something stranger. The silver sphere at the top of the tower, beating like a heart. And once inside, that was where she showed him. Floating projection fields, warrior records, DNA files, and one glowing blueprint that made his stomach twist. It showed him internal scans, brain, blood, bones, overlaid with something inhuman. Your body is merging, she said softly behind him. No, merging's the wrong word. She walked around the image. More like evolving. She looked at him. Serious now. Of every human who came here over the last 80 years, only 2 ever survived long enough to spark the change. He blinked. Don't tell me the other one was Talon, she nodded. He wanted power. You just wanted to protect. The projection dimmed. Her hand reached up and cupped his cheek. That's why you're different. Soft pause. Then. That's why I brought you here. He didn't move. Not away. Not toward. And you? He asked. What are you now? She didn't blink. I am what happens when you stop letting empires make you soft. Then. Lights flashed red. Sirens howled. Explosion. Below. Lots of them. Talon's voice crackled over the comm line in her chamber. Should have killed me when you had the chance, princess. Now I'm bringing Earth back its lost weapon, with interest. She turned fast. Angry. Focused. But he grabbed her hand before she left the platform. You knew he was dangerous. Why keep me here, feeding me half-truths and slow burns? She didn't hide. Because I needed to see what kind of man you really are. When desire touches duty. He took a step back. Clenched his fists. And what do you see now? She gave him the look. That look. The kind that made stars feel like background noise. I see someone worth choosing. Then she smiled. And maybe someone worth sleeping with. If we both live through the next 12 hours. Then she turned, and the violet guns lining the tower clicked open. Her skin shimmered with armor nanits. The battle princess returned. Come with me, human. She whispered as the floor began to lower again. And if Talon kills us? At least your final memory will be me, stretched across this balcony. She winked. Or maybe under you. He stepped forward, blade ready. Let's end this. Him, secrets, hunger, all of it. And with that, Earth's half-evolved son and the alien princess of war descended into the fire together. Their enemies waited below. Their pasts were about to explode. Their bodies burnt with more than weapons now. And one question still throbbed in the dark. Black question mark ornament final comment question. All right, boys. You survive the war, the girl survives too. Would you go back to Earth? Or stay with the warrior princess who knows how to use a sword, and maybe handcuffs too? Winking face fire kiss mark.